Oh my god. My fucking goodness. Hello people and welcome back to Nico Appreciates. The last episode of Midnight Club 2, which is Tokyo. This could take... Oops. This could take from like 2 hours all the way up to 4 hours, depending on how shit I am today. I have all of these races pretty much memorized from all those years of playing the game, but I can't guarantee it's gonna go well, because most of the races it's usually like you win by a millisecond or something. We'll see how it goes. Also, these chase scenes are gonna be a bit longer. Still not gonna be hard though. You're not gonna miss any of these. You're not gonna like lose them. So that's not a huge problem. Tokyo is the hardest one, and after you beat all of these, then the last guy takes you all over the world. Again, back to Los Angeles and Paris as well. The last race is gonna be in Los Angeles, and it's gonna end in the spot that we started the game at, so near the petrol station.
Petrol station? What are you, Brit?
Shit, sorry. I did not realize things like pot and petrol station hurt your feelings. Alright, there we go. Let's listen to him then.
This Yank has a rep. I can't wait for him to see my car. Pure platinum. Never seen these kind of premium wheels, huh?
It's always bothered me how people call their cars wheels. It does have other components as well. The wheels are only a part of it. Well, it's another time trial. Getting used to Tokyo, showing you the places. But people who call their cars like rides or wheels, those people are just douchebags. Okay, that was planned. Of course, one of the hilarious things about this is that the cops still speak English in Tokyo, and it's like broken English. Requesting our backup. Can't they just speak Japanese, Chinese? Like, what's the problem? Why do they have to speak English if they can't speak it properly? Imagine that. Police in like Thailand trying to communicate to each other with broken English. I'd like to see that. That's gonna happen all the fucking time in Tokyo. You're gonna crash into everything. That's just a thing. Can't avoid unless you are some kind of a bot. Let's see what he says about that one. That somehow stayed up.
What a fool. So easy to trick this jerk, it wasn't even fun. There's no teams that want you here. Go home!
Right. For some reason I was reminded by my previous city. It's constructed in such a way where when it snowed and you had icy roads, there's a lot of tight curves, a lot of small tight spaces, tight roads. And there was especially this one spot near a shopping mall, quite a busy street, quite the busy street. Ah, exactly, that's gonna happen multiple times during these hours. But quite the busy street, and it's a bit of a tight curve. And the first time I took that road, because obviously I wanted to see what the shopping mall is like, and then I started to go there weekly to get my groceries there. Such a good place. The first time I got there, when I turned, I actually lost control of my car. I was like, what the fuck is this? The road was so slippery on that one turn. Even if you go like 20 kilometers an hour, you're still gonna lose control. unless you know about it. So it was kind of a common occurrence to see a lot of people taking that same turn, and all of them would... like everyone would lose their control of the car there. What the f... where am I supposed to go? I'm guessing here. That looked like a complete mindfuck there. I don't know what I did wrong, but we're still making it, I hope. But that was such a dreadful turn, and when I learned how bad it is, I went slow in purpose. Like, I went super slow to that curve, and people behind me always got mad. Like, why is he going so fucking slow? Sometimes, like, it's a 2-lane turn, so sometimes they would overtake on the left side, and just... they would be so pissed that I was taking the turn so slow. They would just throttle away and lose the control of their car, and I was like, that's gonna happen. It's hilarious when you have spots like that in your city that you know are slippery during winter time, and people don't realize that, and they just get mad at you.
This idiot embarrasses me in front of my friends. It's time for you to get the boost.
Man, after that first, like I didn't lose my, I didn't lose the control of my car in a bad way. It's just like a small twitch. You know that twitch you get, and then you correct your small mistake there. That's basically what happened. But some people I did witness completely turned their car the other way around because they were going so fucking fast. Man, did they learn fast about that turn. Like every time after that, I never lost control again because I knew that was a bad turn. But people just got mad because they didn't know about that. They did learn quite fast there. But there's also another spot. It's under a bridge. You know, those things or those places are pretty dreadful as well in winter time because all the ice and the black ice just builds up under the bridge. And even if you went super slowly through that, you still kind of skid through that. You have to be super careful. I remember one morning I noticed how slippery it was, so I took it extra careful there when I went to school. That was still when I was going to computer science classes. So I noticed the black ice and the ice under the bridge. Took my time with it, went extra careful. I was like, okay, that was good. Didn't lose control or anything else. Then when I came back in the evening through the same route, there were 3 cars mashed against the bridge wall there. So 3 cars at least lost their control under that bridge. And I was like, yep, I knew that was gonna happen. Places like that aren't exactly too common here in Finland because we do take care of our roads during the winter time pretty well. And we're using winter tires as well. So shit like that usually doesn't happen, but that city is notorious for, I guess, bad care on the roads. I don't know what that's about. It's not a thing here. Haven't had any problems. You could also say that maybe I was inexperienced as well back then. It's like, what, 10 years ago or something, but a lot of people had problems, so it was not just me. Nowadays, though, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of how to control car on a slippery road. Just have to counter steer. That was not too bad. I actually quite liked that race, even though that little fuck up made me think I lost. Oh, we actually made it.
This fool just got my juice. Don't you ever tell anybody about this!
Well, can't promise. Let's see, who do we have? It doesn't really matter who we go after, because I played this game so much. You do have kind of an order. If you never played this game, you do kind of want to go in order. But to tell you the truth, in Tokyo I can't even remember what the order is. To be honest, I can't remember which guy has the faster car. Tokyo also has my favorite race think it's Haley's race. Yep, she is called Haley, I think. That is my favorite race, has one of the best musics in it, and the track is, well, the race is pretty cool. Can't call it a track when you're in a city following checkpoints, but you know what I mean. That is one of the best moments in the entire game. Once you get to Tokyo, you're really pumped up for each race. And the smack talk still going. Gotta love it. Okay. They should really remake this game. Have new upgraded graphics. Use something like an Unreal Engine. I don't know if you can use that for a race game, but
it was easy to cheat Gina out of a car. This guy looks even dumber. You? Ooh, my life is too easy.
Just upgrade the graphics, upgrade everything. Have Avid controller support. Even though the Xbox One controller does work out of the box, I'm not so sure about other controllers. But just upgrade everything. Have a new nice skin on the game, and maybe add a couple of new characters. That would lengthen the game as well. It's not too short to begin with, but I love the game so much that I'm always sad when it's over. But that's what I would like a remix of this game. Because like I said, oh, that was nice. Because like I said, Midnight Club 3 kind of lost the essence of the game, because there were characters, but they didn't actually interact with you in any way. You just had the name. So it's just like, so what am I racing for even? If you can't get to know the other racers, then what's the point of even racing? That's kind of how I feel. I like my racing games to be either simulations, like Grid. Grid is one of my all-time favorite racing games as well, because it's so fun. Arcade style, simulation kind of deal. But I never really got into simulation, if you know what I mean. Like an F1 game or something. That's really not what I can do, because whenever I get to first place, I get too nervous and just lose it after that. I get nervous when I see cars pile up behind me. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? In this game it's kind of hard to know. Oh my god, I remember that. In this game it's kind of hard to know how far the others are from you, because you're kind of going from a checkpoint to another, and it's kind of convoluted that way. You'll never know exactly how far away or how close the others are. So that helps that anxiety that I have with normal racing games on a track. It's good. I do love the fact that you can choose your own route. It's really incredible. I also did have Midnight Club 1 and 2. In fact, I think one of the first ever like really good looking games I had was Midnight Club 1. I think I had it on my IBM Aptiva, like in '95 or something like that. That game really, it surprised me how good it looked. All the rain and everything, it's just super good looking game back then. Let's see.
Okay, we'll see how far this goes now. You are making life very precarious for yourself, tourist.
I also had yeah, Midnight Club 2 was super good as well. I remember popping in Eiffel 65 while playing Midnight Club 2, and yeah, now he cheats. Because the game actually allowed you to put in a music CD while you played, and it actually played the tracks just like correctly in the game. So if you chose a track, it started to play music from the CD itself. So it didn't just loop over and over. It actually like played with the game, if you know what I mean. So in the menu there would be a different music. On one stage there would be a different music, on another stage it would change. That was groundbreaking at the time. So I popped in that Eiffel 65, I played with my friend. Good times. Really fun. Midnight Club 2 was not easy, I do remember that. Some of the modes were really difficult. Like I think there was a a movie scene kind of deal, where you had to pull stunts and stuff, or drive in a certain way to a certain location. I remember one challenge was extremely hard. You were supposed to not scratch your paint, so not hit anything during a single race, or just kind of like get from point A to point B. There were no other racers, but the fact that you had to go kind of slowly, not to hit anything, but then you also had a time limit. So I think it's something like that. You were shooting a movie or something in the game. I remember that, especially that one. It was extremely hard. But maybe it was because I was a kid, I don't know, but back then it was super hard. Man, Windows 95, oh my god. I had a weird, because I was not tech savvy right off the bat. Because I was like, 7 when I had my first computer. So I did not fully understand how they worked, like BIOS and stuff. My dad used to fix stuff in the BIOS for me if something went awful. Of course, he wasn't an expert either, but at least he probably knew some English, because I didn't. Man. Had one weird feature that I'm gonna tell you about after this one. It's really interesting, to me at least.
This idiot and the stupid little girl will be looking at their own brains. You just won yourself a world of pain.
I like that expression. But my, like the IBM Aptiv had a weird feature in it. Let's change the color. Yeah, why not? The blue, which kind of looks purple. Yep. It's, well, it's kind of like a baby blue. Has a hint of purple in it. If you tell me that's pink, I'll kill you. Ultimate. But my Windows 95 computer, the IBM, had a weird feature in that if it got stuck, like if the computer froze, like if a game crashed or something, and you had to reset your computer, I don't think it even had a reset button, but you would hold down the power button to cut off power, of course. But that IBM had a weird feature where it would return back to the state it was in before you... Oh nice, it's Haley, it's my favorite race soon. We're gonna experience that in full, actually, because I love that so much. But it would always return back to the crashed state, because once you power it back up, it remembers where it was last time. So if the computer crashed and you power it on, well, it still crashed, because it always returns to the same spot. So usually my father had to recover that every time he went to the BIOS and disabled that feature or something. It always took such a long time because none of us really knew what we were doing. Man, that sucked. Like right now, if that was a feature on today's motherboard, you would just go in the BIOS and fix it. Back then you didn't have any idea, you didn't even know what the BIOS was. Some geek just told us, man, you have to be careful in the BIOS, you're gonna break the whole thing. Of course everyone was fucking careful with that thing then. Man, back in 95, when everyone was so mystified about computers.
Man, if I press shift it's gonna break.
Shit like that was actually a thing. Don't press too many buttons at the same time. Alright, Haley, let's do this.
It's funny when these guys get smoked by a girl. All that macho crap. Hey man! You're all show and no go! Get off the track!
Yeah, this is one of those races I actually want to experience. This is the high point of the game, I feel like. As well as the end. I also remember these races are super difficult. Yep, I remember this. Let's see then. I usually mess this up at least once. And I'm already doing an extra lap here. That's gonna slow us down. This is one of those races where a couple of mistakes is enough to ruin your whole progress. Really, on these later races, only one oh, nice police maneuver. On these later races, just one mistake is enough to fuck you over. Go through here. Yep. Then there should be... No, that was all of them. Now we just go straight, I believe. she took a different route there. We have to find a tunnel, which is the problem here. And I think... Where is it? I think it's if you go left. It has to be somewhere down here. Oh, there we go. Man, I used to search for this tunnel. Fuck you. For ages, back when I got this game. This tunnel was so fucking hard to find. You would just go and search everywhere for this checkpoint, and it was like, because you can't see it from top here, you have to go under the ground to see that checkpoint. That was one of the hardest spots in the race. Then I just said, okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna race, I'm just gonna look for that one checkpoint and learn where it is, so I can beat this. That's exactly what I did. We are in a detriment because I used all of my nitros. There's only one motherfucker ahead of us though. Oh god, it's here! I am fucked. That was bad. I forgot. That was the turn. We are gonna have to repeat the stage. My apologies. But now I remember how it works. And I love this race. So, I guess sorry, not sorry. Change the color. Maybe it's the color's fault.
Wait for the green light.
I like how the color red with this car is like brown. It's like caramel brown. Look at that. Oh my god. That's not red. If that's red, you're fucking drunk. That's like the kind of color you shit down the toilet and think if this is normal or not. Like half of them go a different direction, half of them go another. So it's always gonna be quite ridiculous making those turns, because you'll never see the opponents until it's too late and you crash. I'm still gonna take this one first, even though the Haley takes that last. I don't know if that even matters. You lose all your speed there, so I'd rather have the speed going back to that road there. That's my take on it anyway, like this. Take this turn here, use the nitros there. You do overtake Haley like that, which is nice. I think she has chosen that route specifically so you have a better chance at winning this, because this race is quite hard. You can't always have the optimal route for the AI. You're gonna lose every race if they had the AI be that smart. If they always took all of the shortcuts and everything, yeah, you would not win a single race in this. You'd have to literally learn every turn in the whole map, and that's quite the feat. I know people who can memorize the whole oh my god, why is that wall there? I know people who can memorize the whole game. Like literally every turn they are familiar with. That's just insane. I can't understand how long that takes to learn. Or maybe if you are a special kind of person, maybe you can do that easily. But I can't. I suck at labyrinths, I suck at finding myself. And finding the targets. I just suck at finding different things. Okay, we have done it. Like I said before, if there's alright. What do you have?
Adrenaline is just pumping through me, I swear. You jumped me, moron! Let's go again! Double or nothing!
Yeah, like I said before, I have a hard time of creating a map in my mind where I need to go and where that is and how to get back and such. My sense of direction just sucks. Welcome to another foggy race. I fucking hate that because you can't see shit. This is like back in '98 where games had shit distance drawing abilities. This was like your generic game in the early '90s. You could not see fucking anything because everything starts to draw so near you. Just cars and trees and shit just appearing right in front of you. This reminds me of that. Like super old games that can't draw details far away from you. This is exactly the challenge here. I like those attentions to detail, like cars on fire and such. But man, driving over people and such, That is harsh. I'm surprised they included that in the game, because I think in Midnight Club everyone would just dodge you, like the civilians, they would not get crushed by the cars. So this game went over that fear of adding that in and just added that in. They had the balls to do that. They did not get in any trouble, although some news outlets I remember didn't exactly glorify that. They were pretty upset about it. But of course this was nothing compared to GTA, which, fun fact, this game is made by the same people, or well, maybe not the same people, but a different division under Rockstar. It was, I think, Rockstar... Okay, I can't remember what it is now, but you get the idea. Rockstar made this game. Just another division of Rockstar. It's like Rockstar Los Angeles or something, I can't remember. But it's not important right now. This second race is not as memorable as the first one, because I had so much trouble with the first one as a kid. And as an adult as well. Gotta be careful on that one, you can lose control of your car quite easily there. We should... Oh no! Are you fucking kidding me? That's why you save your fucking nitros, people. That happens every time. Just before the finish line you get crash into something. Okay.
I still want to run the imports. Racing is what I'm about. I'm just trying to have a good time, and you, idiot, you just want to ruin it!
That was an import? Well, technically an import is just a car imported from another country, right? That's all that it is. An import does not mean it's tuned. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I think. So if I go to Germany and bring myself a BMW from there to Finland, that's an import. Doesn't mean it's any good. I'm gonna change my car back though. That car has awful handling. It's like trying to turn a ship. The best thing you can have in this game are cars that actually handle well. Those are problem spots. You can't really always see if the road continues or not, especially because this whole game takes place in nighttime, so it's sometimes hard to see. Oh, son of a bitch. Hard to see those things. You just look like an idiot crashing into obvious walls. Never understood why she calls us a tiger. What does that have to do with anything? I think this game taught me that Japan has their traffic the other way around, just like in UK. You drive on the left side. I think this game taught me that. Fairly interesting there as well. Things you learn from video games. I also, before I even knew English when I was 7 and under, I learned what all the buttons do. Like if there was a menu and it said start game and exit, I learned the different letters and how they looked and what they meant. Because exit game looked pretty similar in every game, so I learned that okay, that probably quits the game. And then start new game, I learned how that looks. Of course I didn't understand what it meant. But that was quite a fascinating time, trying to learn English that way. Learning how the letters come together and how they form different words and they look familiar to you. That's how you could fiddle with most of the stuff. Of course, options I usually could not understand. I never went to the options menu as a very young kid because I could not understand what it meant. But at around 9 I started to really understand English. Because they start teaching English right about that time in school here. And they do teach it until you're a teen, and they do like teaching English in most schools anyway. All of the normal schools teach English, but if you go like to computer science, you're gonna learn some more English. Even if you're already perfect at it, you're gonna learn some IT shit. That's for sure.
You can't fault this guy. This show no go is part of his own style. What you running under the hood, player?
That show no go is part of his own style. That's one of my favorite sentences from this game. What the fuck does that even mean? Hilarious. and he's called Nico, and his nickname is Nico. With 2 Ks, trying to be fucking fancy. You can't say that games like this have stage design, but this has stage design, look at that. All the placements. I'm laughing at myself because I'm making these references. But all the placements and different things they put around the city, they're so well placed. Like I can tell they seriously raced through these races multiple times and checked what they can put and where. It's really astonishing how they did this. Everything has its place, and everything is carefully placed where they need to be to create a seamless experience. I think Midnight Club did not do that as well. It was kind of bland. It did not have that many objects on the road. It just had straight building walls, and that was pretty much it. So, in many ways, Midnight Club, I find... Like, if we compare Midtown Madness 2 and Midnight Club 2, Midnight Club takes the cake, no questions asked. Midtown Madness is kind of your grandpa's racing game. Oh my god. Fuck off. Like, if you showed this game and Midtown Madness 2 to your dad back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s, your dad would choose Midtown Madness, I'm pretty fucking sure about that. This appeals more to the teen crowd. But a lot of people, when this game came out, did not like this. They criticized the controls, which I can see. They're very slippery, they're very unique, let me put it that way. But a lot of those people played the game with a keyboard. I remember using a joystick or a gamepad. Most times joysticks though. I was a joystick guy. Pretty much every PC game that I played I had a joystick. I did not have gamepads because they were kinda sucky back then. Especially like PC gamepads. Oh my god, I remember this. Fuck off. You just go back and forth depending on which side you took first. I don't think the police are even trying to like arrest me, they're just trying to fucking kill me. I can see why. But how about just shoot me? Not just crash into me and crash into everything else. You're fucking breaking the whole city trying to catch me. You would do less damage if you let me try than to chase me. We fucked this race up quite bad. Well, that's gonna happen because it's Midnight Club. Maybe it's because I kept talking like an idiot. Oh my god, this race is actually quite hard, I remember now. You also wanna... Okay, that's good to know, you wanna save a boost. That's what Tokyo does. Yep. You might want to save a boost there, otherwise you'll just go down. Good to fucking know. You should always just save one, don't just use it for no reason. It's Tokyo, bitch. You should probably not even use one here. They don't use one. Because then you still have to make this turn here. Man, the music is great here. I'm not sure which I like better, Paris or Tokyo. They're both quite equal. Of course, you're going a lot faster here. But I never liked games where you go super fast, something like Wipeout. What was the other game where you go super fast? The only game that I ever liked where you go super fast was Roll Cage. That was such a good fucking game. It has those weird RC cars that you can drive, even if you flip it over it still works. Like it has a flat construction on it and the tires actually go around both sides. So that was kind of the idea behind the Roll Cage. You could, like if you raced in a tunnel, you could ride along the walls, along the ceiling, and then if you drop down you can still continue, because you can't flip in this game. Both of your sides are the right side. It's really a fun game, that one. You go quite fast in that, but the stages were so well designed. It's mostly straightaways, but once you have turns, they're well designed. But I hate games where you go fucking fast and then the race, like the layouts, are not good. That's what pisses me off. You do go quite fast in this game on the last races, but again, they are well designed, so it doesn't really matter. If you compare this race to the first race we had, yeah, there's quite a big of speed difference, even though this still doesn't look too fast. But the difference is definitely there. I keep missing this turn. Well, I guess we could just do it this way. See what happens there. Look at that. You snatch that checkpoint like that, you don't even have to go there. Maybe I'm a genius, maybe I did that on accident, I'm not gonna tell you. You just read my mind there. Why is that post there? Talking about good stage design, holy shit. They are there for a purpose. The purpose is to fuck us over. We are going to make this, which is good news. That's why you have to save your turbos. Kind of a cheap move though, I have to admit. But replay value, right? What do you have for me?
I am a proud race boy, and my image is extremely important. Time to drive. Let's jet!
I am a proud race boy. Really sounds like me. I'm a proud race boy. Well, let's take this opportunity to promote Snapster, right? So if you don't know what Snapster is, it's a group. I think we have 10 people now. We race Mega Man games on YouTube. Usually weekly, we have a new episode up. Probably an hour and a half if is your average runtime for that. Stuff like Search Snake only, Item 1 only, weapon challenges, weapon rotations, stuff like that. Season races we did lately Trop, which were serious races, but we don't have time for that anymore. Just more about fun now, which is right. So pretty much deranged challenges and stuff like that. Moonwalk, Game Genie codes and codes that make you only shoot once instead of 3 times and stuff like that. If you're interested, go to youtube.com/snapsters. It's probably in the description as well, I think so. So if you want to hear more of me and 9 others, that would probably interest you. So if you're like, you only release episodes every day or every other day, that is too little, I need to see more. Well, Snapster is for you in that case. And if you're sick of me, there's 9 other people there, so maybe that'll tickle your fancy. You really have to experience the channel. I can't really tell you anything specific about it. Just have to watch a couple episodes and you'll understand what it's about. Another missed turn. That is okay, because the AI makes mistakes as well, look at that. I really like that the AI is not perfect. They really do make mistakes. That is good, and then the hate turns like this. Cuts the flow a little bit. As you may have noticed, I am now talking more about the game. That's because it's becoming more hectic, and it's becoming harder and harder to concentrate on talking about other stuff when you're trying to race these races here in Tokyo. I do have to concentrate a bit more, which in return means I'm gonna talk about the game some more. Hope you're okay with that. Oh my god, that's... I remember that. You crash into that. And that should be the last turn. It is... Yep. Not too hard, that one. You won the night. At night time.
When I became a racer, I do a 13-second quarter mile. I was the man. But now, if I don't run 10s or 11s, why bother? I got no car. Where the hell am I supposed to go?
Well, you still got the looks. Did you know that Finland has an American diner? Actually has like 3 of them, or 4 of the same chain, I mean. Used to go there fairly often. Fairly often, that's English for you there. Used to go there often, liked their food a lot. In fact, I used to call it Burger Friday. Except it turned into Burger... Except it did occasionally, and I mean often. Okay, every time. It turned into Burger Tuesday, Burger Wednesday, Burger Thursday. Okay, I admit it. They were fucking good. You get some fries there, you get coleslaw. And the burger was fucking perfect. Maybe that's the reason I'm getting fatter, I don't know. But lately, they changed the recipe or something on their meat in the burgers, and man, does it taste like McDonald's now. I'm quite upset. It used to be high quality. It was like a high quality restaurant. You would go there and have a feast, and now it's just another fucking McDonald's.
Above all things, cowardice is what I hate most. Determined strength will flow.
Okay, that sounds racist at all. Okay, it's not like McDonald's, but it's quite... Like, it's not as good as it used to be. The meat is pretty strange now. Really tastes cheap in comparison of what it used to be. There's not as much salt, and there's other things missing too from it. I don't know what it is. I meant to leave feedback, but I've been lazy lately. Just gone to Subway a lot more. Subway is something that I truly like as well, but things just go... Like, they remove the items that I mostly like. That happens every time. When I started going to the American diner, I always ordered the onion burger. And then they got rid of that after like a year. So I was like, okay, fuck. Now they have a mushroom burger. I'll take that instead. So I started ordering that. That was my norm. I used to always eat the mushroom burger. Guess what? They got rid of that fucking as well. So, now what they have is the triple cheeseburger. That's what I order now. The same thing happened with fucking Subway. When I introduced myself to Subway probably around 10 years ago, because I really didn't know. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, you don't. Son of a fuck. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, let's do that again then. Oh my god. Shit. Last turn, right? But I got into the Subway thing pretty late in my life, so yeah, probably 10 years ago or so. I loved the meatball sub. I fucking adored it. It was my go-to choice. The meatball sub, so fucking good. After eating it for probably 2 years, they got rid of it. They have not, like, it has not returned. That was the best fucking sub they had. And when I asked and left feedback, like, why the fuck did you get rid of my favorite sub? And they were like, well, the meatballs drop out of the bread when you eat it. What kind of a fucking reason is that? They never fucking dropped. If people don't know how to eat your sub, that's not a good reason to fucking drop it. It was so wonderful. Probably gave you fucking AIDS or something in the long run. I don't know what kind of chemicals they use in the meatballs. But man, was it good. You only live once. The problem with Subway I have is that they have like 8 different subs with chicken on it. And I fucking hate chicken. I can't stand it. Any kind of chicken, I hate. Let's concentrate on this first. Okay, there we go. Do it properly. Oh god, it's here. That was not even close. Let's not even check how close that was. Yep, no, not gonna look at that.
Are you trying to fool me? I am sensei to all masters. The moon has no intent to cast its shadow tonight.
Excuse me? Oh, anyway. Yep, that's my gripe with Subway. They have like 8 fucking chicken versions of their subs, and then there's like, well, you have 2 meat options.
Well, chicken is meat.
Oh, go fuck yourself. It's not real meat. It's bird meat. That's not meat. When I say meat, I mean man meat. Man buns. Shit like that. The true man meat from bulls. Penises and such. Well, they probably use like bull's eyelids and shit like that on their meat versions. You never know what that is. Subway has the greatest ingredients. We know what we're doing. Well, what's in this? Bull testicles and crushed bones, as well as bull's eyelids. You'll never know, it tastes great. Yes, it does. It doesn't bother me. It's kinda funny, you never know what the fuck you're eating. Like basic sausages that you buy from a supermarket, it's like 2% meat. 98% is like crushed bones and like foreskins. Yet it still tastes like something you would eat. How do they do that? I've watched this guy Ashens, has a fun YouTube channel. He oh my god, he had a tin of something that said a whole chicken in a can. It was literally a whole chicken in a fucking can. It's just a mush. Like, I don't understand. How can somebody eat that? And he also said like it tastes nothing like chicken. How do you have a whole chicken in a can that tastes nothing like chicken? What the fuck have you done to it? That worries me a little bit. All you could taste on it were chemicals. Man. But there's steak and cheese is the one I get from Subway. That is my main. Because the whatever other meat version or variant they have tastes like the bottom of a shoe. So that's not really viable. Can't remember what that was called. Now it's gonna bother me. But it's not good. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna digest when you eat random stuff. You would think that most things in a supermarket would be healthy. Or not even healthy, like safe. Let's call them safe, but they're really not. Should always eat organic shit and stuff like that. Take care of your body. No wonder we're getting diseases up the ass, or just becoming more and more common in these days. Because every food is so fucking processed. So much fucking chemicals and everything. You'll never know exactly what you're eating. Buy a bag of fucking meatballs in a supermarket. It's like 1% meat. Rest is like penises and foreskins crushed together from like a fucking horse.
To defeat 1,000 enemies is good, but the one who defeats himself is the greatest of warriors. I am sure you are master of something, though I do not know what.
No, not gonna use a bike. Jesus Christ. Sure. I guess. We have a drink. Okay. Where were we? Alright, processed food. It's like they add some fucking chemicals in it to make it taste better. But in the process, the foods lose most of their original qualities. You could not sell anything in a supermarket if you didn't add chemicals in it to make it stay good for a longer period of time. You would have a lot of food in your supermarket that would go bad in like 2 days. Can't sell that. It has to be viable for like a week for people to consider buying it. It's like ground beef. They package most of the ground beef so badly that it just still goes bad in your fridge, even though you still have adequate dates on it. At least that's my experience. You have to have a vacuum packed ground beef package for it to survive. Luckily they started doing that here. It's a lot better. Man, Kenichi's car is one of my favorites. In fact, he actually went down there? Okay. How did... okay, from here. Interesting. Makes me think if the AI fucked up. But Kenichi's car is one of my favorites in the game. And I'm probably gonna use it for the most of the rest of Tokyo. It's so... it's average on every field. It has great handling. What the fuck is he doing? Drunk as fuck though. And you also have that car in black, which is nice. Not a lot of cars in this game come black. That sounded wrong for some reason. Can't quite tell what that was about. Most things come black. Actually, if you came black. Well, some of us have ejaculated blood. Not to say that I have, but maybe I have. You'll never know. Unless you're in our Discord. Better go there. It's in the description. Snapster Discord. That's an order. Go there now and chat with us. I'll tell you about that experience that I had. That's really not welcoming, but really, Snapster was never welcoming in the first place. Okay, let's see what you have.
Another kid. Okay. If I don't get what Gina owes me, I'll rip you apart!
Really don't care about the lore, I just wanna race. Like, I like the characters a lot, but I don't like listening to their problems, so to speak. But that just adds into the game. I don't think these races were too hard. We should be able to clear these in one go, hopefully. Don't get me wrong, they are fucking hard if you never played the game before. But once you play this every year for your whole life, well, you do kind of memorize the races. This used to be very difficult, don't get me wrong. I used to have a lot of problems with this particular character. Races seem to go on forever. Once you get it down though, it's quite nice. A lot of small alleyways. Just to watch for the wooden poles, whatever the fuck they are. Probably lights. Another spot where you need a turbo, which is why I'm saving them from now on in these races. It's actually the first one is not too long of a track. That was close. That would have ended our run there. That's how easy it is to lose. We are somehow first after that turn. If we crashed, that would have been horrible. You can't actually go there. It looked like that was the finish there. But if you just went straight there, you would lose the race. Because there was no way for you to get here. Are we still gonna lose? Don't think so. But you can't get to the finish line from there. You have to make that left turn. Which thankfully I remembered just in the nick of time there.
This American has guile. Maybe instead of rubbing him out, I should put him to work. We'll see how you handle this run. Then we talk business.
I like how you first have to prove yourself in an illegal like race and then talk business after that. That makes sense. Now we pretty much have to touch every car that is racing. Don't quite know how we got the police car, but then again, ain't this fucking cool, right? If you're a teenager or a small kid, you're gonna come in your pants when you see stuff like this. I remember I was pretty excited about this. Being the police for once was exciting. Of course, quite the easy thing to do. Could have been a lot harder and more difficult. Could have had the racers go in different routes, but they seem to always use the same route if I am not mistaken. We have two left. We should probably not go through here because I'm sucking, but also because this is slower. They got quite far away, but see if we can somehow not a problem though. You can be you can fuck up quite a lot in this and still get them. They are essentially racing a checkpoint race. You just can't see the checkpoints. See, we're making good progress here. Let's look where they're going. They are going back, so we might as well go through here. This is one of those things that I can't remember from the top of my head, so I just have to get lucky. Okay, we still can. Oh, nice. Nicked it. Now let's talk business.
He kept his word. The girl is free, but I need to teach him respect. Gina and I are square. Now it's between just you and me.
You and me.
I squash you like a bug.
Right. What a character. Another one of my favorite tracks. Not the race track, but the music. It's like, it's called Brain 35, I think. Might be wrong, but... Oh... The rain really messes you up quite a lot in this game. It is super slippery when it's raining, it's hard to turn. In most racing games the rain really doesn't do anything, it's just a cosmetic thing. But in this game it really fucks you up. It's super slippery. And a lot of these last races, they are gonna be in the rain. To make matters worse. Well, that's only fair. Game should get harder as it goes. Oh dear. Can't see anything. Concentrating. Give me some slack here. If Tokyo had this little traffic, something would be wrong. Imagine if this game had a realistic amount of traffic in Tokyo. You could not race like this. And for the time, I don't think the PCs could handle that much traffic. So it's nice what they did. But quite unrealistic if you ask me there. But that's to be expected. Can't go dumb with it. Oh my god, still with this little traffic in Tokyo, I still crash into everything because I'm dumbass. But mostly because of the rain as well. Oh. Now starts the problem of having to look in the map and going like 500 miles an hour. Luckily, if you crash into these cars, they're creating nice blocks for the racers behind you. Oh my god. My fucking goodness. I don't even know how we did that. I am shaken by that experience. Only one mistake is enough to deny us from the glorious victory. Man, trying to look at the map and race at the same time, such roads is more difficult than you might think. Okay, let's see. I have to make this perfectly. And there we go. Nice one. That almost went horribly wrong.
You race with honor and show the respect to the end. Yubizume is not required. Take the car and stay away! I will destroy this thing. I'm not interested in anything you have to say. Drive!
Interesting. We've made quite a good progress so far. I was expecting this to take a lot longer, especially when you're doing it in front of a... well, not a camera, but you're recording it. Usually you fuck up more. But let's see. Usually the last races take quite long, because they are so precise. This is another time trial, so I don't think we're gonna lose too many times this one. But after this race we might have some problems. So, I really haven't talked about Mega Man 11 yet. On a video, that is. I've only talked about it in Discord. People ask me what I think about it. What are my first impressions? I think people are gonna be disappointed. Not because it's necessarily not gonna be a bad game. It does not look like it's gonna be a bad game, but you have to realize that I don't think they're targeting us. I don't think they are targeting the Mega Man veterans with Mega Man 11. They are targeting a new audience, which is kids right now. People who are maybe 10 years old, 15, maybe even 8. They are targeting the younger audience because that is what they should be doing if they want to make money. They can't target us anymore because there is not as much of us as there are of them. So bringing new people in, while it does not tickle our fancy, is the right decision to make. The game looks kinda kiddish. It has that Mega Man 8 vibe. It's quite strong. It also has that Mighty Number 9 vibe. And I think it looks a little bit better than Mighty Number 9. But it carries a lot of similar aspects. And what I'm afraid of is that people are gonna be let down. People are gonna be mad because the game is going to be just like Mega Man 8. The little weird charging thing or overheating thing on top of his head could be obstructive. It could obstruct the gameplay. It could obstruct bullets behind it. Okay, that one will. But of course I can't say it. Mega Man walks like he's just had diarrhea. His walking cycle is awful. So is his jumping sprite. It looks god awful there. Those are things they can still fix, but I think they have already completed the game. I think it's already done. Because the release is gonna be at the end of the year. So really they should already have most of the game done. But let's keep chatting about that after this.
One defeat, too much shame. Come on, again.
So that is my first impression on Mega Man 11. I hope they do deliver. I hope it's not gonna be another Mighty Number 9, but I fear the worst. The game is done in another 2.5D style. And how many times have 2.5D games actually succeeded? Not too many times. You have the problem of semi-3D sprites and effects. And it's always gonna be a bit of a shit show. Because it's hard to read enemies that are partly 3D and partly not. It's gonna be harder to play the game than to just have a straight up 2D game. It's easier to make graphics look good when it's 2D. But when you're going for that weird aesthetic of having 2.5D, then you kinda lose me. I'm just stating my own opinion. I personally can't stand 2.5D games because they do not look right to me. Oh shit. Okay, no matter. They do not look right to me, and it's harder to play the game cleanly when it's difficult to see what you're doing in the first place. It's kinda messy. If you look at Mega Man 2.5D and Mighty Number 9, you understand what I mean. Especially if you watch my evaluation of Mighty Number 9. Oh shoot. We might have lost this one. But that is my thought process on Mega Man 11. I already pre-ordered it, but only because I'm gonna showcase it in Nico Appreciates. I'm not sure I would have even bought it. Otherwise, it does not look like a game I'd enjoy. Also note that Rush is well, when you have equipped Rush, you're still blue. I prefer that you change color, but it looks like you always have Rush there. So if you just press a button, Rush comes down. I'm not sure I like that. It's Well, I can't say anything about it before I try it. But it always would... But I guess it would bother me that you're still blue when you put it down, so... I don't know about that, we'll see how that works out. Can't really say anything about that yet. Just think you should be red when you're using it, but if you really have it on one button, then that's really not gonna work, right? So far, the weapon where you spawn blocks down really looks like a bit of a weird choice, or weird weapon. Kinda comes out from nowhere. It's kinda like guts blocks, but not as cool. And that one boss, I think it was Fuse Man. His fight was actually so flashy, I could not even watch it on the pre-order trailer. I could not look at that footage, I had to actually stop there. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to even show Fuse Man on my evaluation. But I hope we can do that. But it's just so flashy, they were not really thinking straight there. And another thing that bothered me a little bit with the pre-order trailer is that they didn't time the trailer with the actual pre-order capabilities. So they first released the trailer and it probably took them 2 hours to have Mega Man 11 up on the Steam page. That kinda rings some alarms about their process on that. Should always have the pre-order ready when you release a pre-order trailer. Can't really call it a pre-order trailer if there's no pre-order to make. And I also usually never pre-order games anyway, that's not something I do, it's not something anyone should do. Never pre-order fucking anything. Right, Mighty number 9 backers, right? They'll never learn anyway. If you back a game with $100, of course you're gonna think it's a good game. That's how it works. If you put value on something before you know how it is, you're gonna value it anyway. Just basic, just how it works. But that's what I think about Mega Man 11 so far. Not impressed. But that's only a personal opinion. I'm hardly ever impressed about anything. So it shouldn't really be a surprise. Well, that was a mistake. But I hope they do pull through. I hope it's something we can all appreciate. But if I know the Mega Man community, everyone's gonna be upset anyway, even if it's a good game! That was probably the closest race so far. How close is that? Phew! Okay. Jesus, I'll take that.
The shame is almost unbearable. Take the car. You think you're real clever, I imagine.
Here we go. World champion. This could take a while, these races are extremely hard.
A new challenger. My pathetic existence. It has come to this. Okay, you, race me then.
Okay. Yep, I truly hope they pull through. But I don't have higher hopes for the game. People are already creating hype over it. And as we know, the Mega Man community, one of is well, it is what it is. Hard critics. But I hope you keep in mind that it's really not made for us. It's made for new people who Capcom wishes to introduce to Mega Man. So you can't really criticize the game on that aspect. It's not made for us. It sucks. It's not as hardcore as the old ones. Of course it's not gonna be as hardcore as the old ones. Kids today can't play games for shit. If you hand a kid Mega Man 1 these days, they're gonna go fucking apeshit. They're not gonna know there's a shoot button until an hour later. For whatever the fucking reason. You can shoot? Holy shit! Well, I don't think they're gonna say holy shit, but you know what I mean. Interesting how kids have changed in today's world. Quite perplexing, actually. Don't know what to say about that. Kids used to be hardcore with games back in the NES days. But games have also changed. There's now hand-holding and power-ups left left and right. Of course, that's gonna change how the players perceive the games. If it's easier, well, once you have something harder every now and then, well, it's gonna be super difficult then, because you're not used to it. But all we had were pretty much hard games back in the day. You have to realize they were NES games. You can't feel that much information on an NES card. So rather than having a long game, it was usually a difficult game. It might have had like 4 stages, but it was so difficult it could take you half a year to beat. You still went back to it every time, because you wanna beat it. That's how it went. Ninja Gaiden, games like that, Castlevania. Bit on the short side if you actually know what you're doing, but nobody knew. They were hard games. You had to keep repeating the same stages over and over until you got perfect at it. And that's what I think really honed down the skills on our generation of gaming. We know what NES hard means. We know how hard games can be. I personally don't have that much experience with newer games. I do play on PC on occasions, but I'll buy like maybe 2 games a year, if that. That's all I do. Only consoles I have is the PlayStation 1 and NES. Also have a DS, but I don't really use it. I just checked that you can run Doom on it. Stuff like that. I don't want to chop through that. But I'm really not a console player. Never really was. But I did have a PS2. That was okay. But that's really, after PS2 I kinda lost it. That was my experience with the so-called newer consoles, and that's where it ended. Really became a PC guy at that point. Because I understood how easy it is to upgrade your PC. Then extend the lifespan of a PC for like another 5 years just by exchanging graphics card. Have a whole slew of new games to play again. Don't have to buy a new console every time. Then you had all these other tools you could draw, you do shit like that. Of course, not as much because you were just a kid. But there's a lot of things to do in Windows. Even as a kid, you found all of that shit really amazing at the time. So that really threw me off the consoles. You could not do as much with them. They were still good for, like, if friends came over, a console would be a lot easier. You both had gamepads. And you don't have to fight over the keyboard. I do remember a lot of games were still good on PC with just sharing the keyboard. I'm not denying that. There were a lot of good games like that. Also had the fault of pressing too many buttons at the same time and jamming the keyboard. Actually made a beep in your PC speaker and fucking hanged the game for like 2 seconds. You could mess up the other player like that, deliberately. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Holy shit. They really crash in there. Holy fuck.
How do you expect to beat me like that?
This one, I think, was one of the harder races in the game. See how that goes. And that's PCs and consoles. What else do you want? I'm just gonna link people to that timeline when they ask what I think about Mega Man 11. It's gonna make it easy. Also forces them to watch some of this game. See? I sometimes think I went to the other side. Well, that's pretty much that.
I am not concerned.
Have a drink then. Reorient the mic. Because I fucking knocked it over. Okay, let's really concentrate. Don't wanna go to the wrong side of the road. That would be fucking amazing. Let's not do that again. That's how easy it is to mess up things. Imagine messing up like that at the end. That's the worst. Because you've done all that work for nothing and you have to repeat everything. Yep, really is the case with this game as well. It hones your skills. It teaches you so long that you actually finally get it. That's what I love about it. This game is NES hard if you really think about it. It preserves that difficulty of games we used to have. It's not a Sunday try. Of course, if you actually try and play this game now with no experience, I would bet this would take you a couple of months to beat. That's a challenge. Show me how fast you can beat this game with no experience, your first time. It's gonna take you at least a month. Maybe you're talented in adjusting, but there's a lot of things you just don't know. And that's what I think is good. You buy a game, you play it for a month or two, it really has paid itself back at that point. Multiplayer games, if you talk about those briefly, I used to play Counter-Strike 1.6 for quite long as a kid and teenager. That was my go-to game. Unreal Tournament, a little bit here and there, but not too much. I also used to play a mod on Half-Life, I think it was called The Specialists. It was a Matrix kind of multiplayer thing where you could slow time, you know, bullet time and shit like that. I used to play something like that. Can't quite remember, but that was a thing. Monster Truck Madness 2 we used to play online, we used to play the Rumble mode, where you knock the other monster trucks out of the ring. It's like wrestling kind of deal. Those were my main games, I think, that I played the most. Since then, multiplayer games don't really interest me. Rocket League is the only example of a multiplayer game that I actually like playing. It's short bursts of like 5 minutes. And I kinda got good at it, so I just kept playing it. So I'm kinda stuck with it now. Are we gonna fucking blow this again? Yes, we are. Incredible. The stage is... well, I can't really call it a stage. My father would always get mad when I called a track a stage. It's not even a track in this case, but I used to call tracks in other racing games stages. He got so fucking mad. It's not a stage! It's track! Okay. I still call it a stage, because I was a kid. Okay, we probably want to restart this. Let's see. Can we salvage this? There's a lot to learn here, holy shit. Don't think we can salvage it. But let's get familiar with the stage a little bit. Yeah, multiplayer games, really not my forte, especially like multiplayer FPS games. No, 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 no. Can't stand them. Really don't have that much time to play anymore. It's only like Rocket League a couple of times a day, like a couple of matches a day. If even that. It's like, okay, 10 minutes of Rocket League a day, maybe. And that's pretty much it. Only other time I play, it's for Snupster and the Snupster episode and recordings. Really, outside of Rocket League, I really don't play anything. Unless some kind of a new release that I follow comes out. For games like Fallout and such, that might interest me, but now I heard the new Fallout 76 is gonna be a multiplayer game that really hit me hard. I was expecting for a new single-player experience. So that's out of my list of interesting games coming out. Really don't have anything else, not even Mega Man 11. I'm not really waiting for that. It's just gonna be something that happens. Don't really have too much care for that either. Because I know what it looks like. It's not aimed at me, it's aimed at somebody else. That's kinda defeats the purpose of buying that game for personal use. Buying it for business, and strictly business reasons. The rest of the stage really, I said stage again. The rest of this race really isn't that bad. It's just that one spot where you missed a turn. He says before spending 2 hours on this race. Oh my god, okay, there's another spot. Have to remember that as well. Of course you're always gonna have more experience at the beginning of the game rather than the end. Because you don't spend that much time at the end. if you replay the games. Okay, that's interesting.
Get out of my face, goodbye.
We are gonna have to do that again. A couple million times.
You have set the amount of time. When you clear the point, more time.
Oh my god, he can't skip. He talks like that every time. Yeah, that's one criticism we can have. You have to listen to him talk every time you screw up a race. It doesn't just reset everything and let you go. Really makes you listen to the whole fucking thing. And some of those intros are very long. So that's one thing I don't like about this game. Is there anything else I don't like about this game? Other than it's too short, even though it's really not. It's super long. It's a long game. But once you like something, you wish you could have endless amounts of it. Oh, they actually don't go from up here. That's why I make the same mistake. Oh no. Okay, so that's a learning experience. This is how you really map the races. If it's your first time playing, you will just keep doing things like this. You have to learn the stage. Fuck. You have to learn the race before you can actually race it. Unless you get lucky or something. But this is just like me for the first time trying to figure out something. But once it's been like a year or two, you tend to forget about some of these races because they're not too memorable like this one. It's really hard to remember. And it's a long stage, like look at that, it's like fucking 15 minutes long. That's the other thing I like about this game, the races. Some of these end races are so long, keeps you on your toes. Once you finally beat it, you feel so good about it. Bad things about the game. Maybe some of the turns kind of make you want to hug the corner instead of actually steering. That's one thing I can tell you. So maybe hugging a corner doesn't slow you down enough. Where that's actually like this. It's a viable strategy actually to hug a corner like that. Maybe that should not be a thing. That is one thing they could have fixed there. That is peculiar how that hit me. I'm not sure what happened there. Got stuck in there somehow. But if we are criticizing the game, then it's still quite hard to find out anything. Oh well, see how far we can. I'm so lost. Oh my god, he's right. First time the character is actually right. Called me a fucking idiot. I agree. Well, we should probably discuss something other than, hey, look at me being stuck for an hour on this one race. But I think this is important for you to see. It's important for you to know that this game can be extremely relentless and difficult. I think it's an important aspect about Midnight Club 2, which you have to understand before you get into this. It's gonna be extremely frustrating at times. But, God, I can't but help this game. I can't but love this game. Alright. Oh, come swap. How's that for a fucking race? It's like I'm deliberately trying to hit everything. That's what it looks like anyway. Okay. The music doesn't help, but my god is the music good. Listen to this goddamn music for a while. The soundtrack is just amazing. Makes you pumped up for the races. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I really do think this is important to see how bad you can be in this game and how good you can be at the same time. This race is probably the hardest one in the entire game. Not even kidding. But the only way through it is to practice it. That's really the best way. And that's what I meant when I said it's like NES hard. Look at the fucking traffic just turning into you. They're like trying to avoid you, but as a result you avoid the same direction, you get hit. Let's try this again. Maybe that'll work out. I don't know. Might as well try it. This guy is better on straightaways, which this race has quite a lot. So maybe it'll prove beneficial. Who knows? I wonder if they're ever gonna make... Oh yeah, they did make the weird Castlevania game that came out on Steam a while back here. I think like oh my god. A couple days ago. I forgot the name, but I really have not played it. But it does look like something I would maybe grab for a couple of bucks when it goes on sale. Really does look like a good game. Really does look like Castlevania tier. I'm always afraid they butcher the titles they're trying to draw inspiration from, but that game actually looks quite good. Shame I forgot about the name, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. And people have been asking what kind of games I do evaluate. For now, it's only Mega Man games. The Freudenschatzel, Freudenkrost, whatever the hell it was called, was an exception. Because it's so like Mega Man, you can't deny it. It's so close. Then I just had to include it. There are other games like that, but whether I get to them or not really has to be seen. I've always had quite different opinions on video games in general than other people. I have a video up about that, I can't remember the title right now. Something like my relationship with video games, I guess. So go watch that if you are interested in how my mind works, but I always felt like I was a bit cynical, a bit... I like to criticize games. And if there's even a few faults that I can't get over, I usually just stop playing the game in the first 5 minutes. There are multiple reasons that can take place for that to happen. Really depends as well, but it is what it is. I just most video games just don't interest me. They just have some kind of faults that I can't look past. And maybe that would be a good indication that maybe I should start criticizing modern games. Maybe I should start a series on it, but I really don't feel like spending full game prices just to do that. Just to have a chance at maybe being a wider or more well-known video game critic. I don't quite feel like spending that kind of money at this point, at least. Fucking modern games are so expensive, like 70-60 bucks for a game. It's ludicrous. And in Steam, they don't play with the currency at all, so it's just gonna be the same amount in euros. Which is like, sometimes, when depends on the currency value, but can be like 10 bucks more expensive than for the Americans, which is quite ridiculous. But usually it's like 5 bucks more or so. Right now the currency is quite low, it's like 3 bucks difference there, but used to be much worse. Checking back to see if I'm being followed, that means I went in the correct direction. Oh my god, I have really learned that turn. Hard one, this one. I have 4 turbos and I've used 3 of them, and there's like half a race left. See, it didn't say stage this time. Oh my god. Okay. Get through this. Ah, lovely. But yeah, if you wanna talk video games, don't come to me. I don't know anything about them. I know what's a bad design. I know how and what mistakes games make. So I could be a good critic. I don't know, what do you think? Should I start... like, should I try that? Kinda in the lines of Totalbiscuit. He was a huge inspiration to me. And partly the reason why I ever even started making videos was his content. Godspeed, Totalbiscuit. Such a good fellow. Sad he's gone. If you have problems, please don't hesitate to go to the doctor. He waited for a fucking year to go to the doctor with his symptoms. That's way too long. That is too long. If you have some sort of issues, don't be afraid to go to the doctor, because they've seen it all. What does it matter if it's embarrassing or not if you end up dying at the end? It's not worth it. Would you rather be embarrassed or die? That is my question. Really, sounds harsh, but that's what it is. Just go to the fucking doctor. Don't wait, and especially don't wait a year. I don't like hospitals, I don't like doctors, I don't like showing my various parts to them. But I've done so in the past. It's nothing to be scared about. They'll tell you if something's normal or not. You have a good mind about it after. Maybe you show them your asshole, maybe you don't. Maybe they stick their fingers in, maybe they don't. But they can tell you if something is wrong or not. It's worth it if you actually want to live. And really, they'll probably forget about you after you've been there. Maybe you'll remember the experience, but if you go back to the same doctor after a year, they're not gonna even remember who you are. Oh, I stick some fingers up your ass? I can't remember. So really, do not be afraid of that. Sad to see good people go. Was really waiting for more content. And it was especially hard for me, because my family has had a lot of cancer. In fact, most, if not everyone in my family has died to cancer. When I was only 10, around 10, most of my family died. Grandparents and all that. They're all pretty much gone. Well, they are all gone. Only thing I have left is my parents. That's everything we have left in our well, my closest family anyway. Cancer really is a bitch, and really get yourself checked up as soon as you can. Really hoping the modern medicine can start doing something about that, because it's really a big fucking problem. So if the signs are correct, and it really runs in family. I don't think cancer does run in the family. I don't think that's how it works. But I could very well get cancer at someday as well. I read somewhere that we all have cancer cells in our body, but whether they become cancerous is a different thing. Our body should be able to take care of those cancer cells so that they don't actually form into an actual cancer. But if you don't have enough of those defensive mechanisms, then yeah, you're fucked there. I've been studying a lot of sleep as well lately, because I've had sleep problems pretty much all my life. It was interesting to me to learn that I think it was 7 hours of sleep you do actually need a night. Don't quote me on that, but if you sleep 6 hours a night, so if 7 hours would be the optimal, and if you sleep 6 hours a night, you're actually damaging your brain cells. Even an hour less a night, you're damaging your brain cells. In fact, we are constantly damaging our brain cells when we are awake. That's a fact, and that's really scary if you think about it. The less you sleep actually has a big impact on your health. You can't recover. You get illnesses quite a lot easier because you don't have those defensive mechanisms up and running, because you never sleep, you never get them to reload. You are gonna have some problems. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of lack of sleep actually killing me at some point. Always so stressed out. Losing hair. Not being able to sleep. It's one of those problems that you start getting when you turn 30 years old, and well, for me it happened quite a lot sooner. And I always felt like I've been more mature than my company. Usually in school and every other place, I always feel like I'm like 10 years older than everyone else. I don't find all the same stuff they find hilarious or fun or good. I've always felt like I never fit any one society. I like being a loner though. In that sense, I respect my own time. I don't seek for company, I don't seek for people to spend time with. That's also that introvert talking right there. We actually lost again. That's okay though. We can make commentary. And we are learning the stage. Let's actually fucking make it this time. Okay. Sorry about that. Post-race stretch. That's gonna help us. But yeah, get checked. Get fucking checked. If you're listening to this right now, get checked now if you have any kind of problems. Book a time, go get checked. You'll thank me later. Even if they find something, then they are gonna find it much sooner than later, which is gonna be worse. So the sooner they find it, the sooner it can be treated, and it's gonna be a lot easier for you. Really, that's how it works. I used to watch Totalbiscuit's What the Fuck Is series. FOV sliders and all that, good stuff. I also had that problem with FOV. If it's too narrow, I get extremely sick. Can't play some games that don't have FOV sliders. Or if you can't modify the config files to modify the FOV, then really I can't play your game. You can't have an FOV of a console on a PC game, because you're so much closer to the screen. He always brought up good points about the games, and I didn't always agree with his criticism, but most times I did. I think we are very much alike in that sense. We respect the same things about games. We respect the same areas, we see the same mistakes. That's what really hit me, hit close to home when I was watching his stuff. Okay, really, he thinks like me. It was fun to watch. Sometimes you just watch him so much, you're gonna know what he's gonna say. Really, fun times. I still don't quite understand, like, I don't get it. I don't feel like he's gone. I was watching his Let's Play with Jesse Cox on Terraria. It's cute shit. One of the first videos I ever saw from him was the Terraria series. It worked out so well. I should watch that again. Oh dear me, please. Well, life is a bitch, right? The older you get, the more you start to realize how unfair life is. Just have to make the best of it. Just like I should with my depression. It's really not going anywhere. I have to battle it for the rest of my life. It's always gonna be there. Just have to accept that it's gonna be there. Can't get rid of it like that. You can make it better though. But like I said, this game is a game I always come back to when I am depressed. And I was heavily depressed again a few months back. It's gotten a bit better again. But there are times when I'm really so low I can't go any lower. I'm so much at the bottom that I can't see a way out. But somehow I always pull it through. It's hard sometimes. I don't really right now even have a good reason to be depressed. It doesn't need a reason. You just exist. Our society has done this. We didn't used to have anxious people. We didn't used to have depressed people back in the day. We created a society that's pretty hard to live in. And as a result we have a lot more depression amongst us. It's sad, but we made this ourselves. really a problem. I know it's the society. And for my depression I always think that it's not me who I have to fix, it's everyone else. It's not my fault. Everyone else is a fucking dumbass, not me. If I went to the psychiatrist, I'd tell them the same exact thing. You're not gonna fix me, you have to fix everyone else but me. That's why personality, I think everyone else is wrong, I'm right. And I recognize that, it's good to recognize. We finally actually fucking beat this race. You get to see something different. Does he have something to say about this?
Why do I bother?
Okay.
Well, that hasn't happened before. But no doubt he will reveal his predictable inadequacy soon. Let's go to another place now.
Right on. Right on.
Here, you dumb cops. Come and get me.
Isn't it kinda hilarious that the world champion only has one working eye? Ever thought about that? It's fun attention to detail there. Oh my god, I remember this one. Oh boy. This one is a bit harder because the AI is not gonna make as many mistakes because you're not following them. So they don't crash into cars, I think they just go through them. So they go through traffic when you're not close to them. So that's why this race is pretty hard. This is gonna take probably a couple of attempts here. We'll see. But yeah, depression is something that you just have to get to know you have to live with it. And there are days when I really don't want to get out of bed. There are days when I just sit in a corner and waste my fucking time. Because I think I can't do anything, I'm not good at anything I can. Man, mind is a fucking weird thing. It fucks you over. Happens to the best of us. Even if you have everything correctly in your life, you're living a good life. Where's that sound? Where's the cats? Even if you have everything just perfect, you're living the life of your fucking... Okay, the time of your life. You can still be depressed. You can still be depressed. It does not mean that if everything is okay in your life, it doesn't mean you're gonna be happy. It's really a problem of the mind. Even if, like, people tell me, well, okay, we just went and slept with the fishes there. Okay, I don't know why the screen went black, but I just swapped my car. I was watching the OBS window and suddenly everything went black. Well, it's back now. You just missed me swapping my car. Don't think you missed anything. Now I can't remember what I was talking about other than depression. You just can't say, well, get over it. Can't get over it like that. But at the same time, I sometimes feel like I should just get over it. But that's the last thing you tell to someone who's depressed. Okay. Like, people have told me, well, everything is fine in your life. You got a wife, you have a cat. You got a place to live in. You're not short on money. What's the problem? Everything's fine. I would kill to have your life. Well, it's not how it works. You can still be depressed even if you have good things in your life. Trust me, you would not kill to have my life. You would not kill to live someone's life who's depressed. You don't want that feeling. Even if you have less than someone who's depressed, you actually have more. If you know what I mean. It is also true that the more things you have, the more depressed you get. More money you have, more depression you have. Weird how that works, right? Did he just say he's seen cleaner skills in a pig? I'm not sure if I misheard that. Quite the comment. What the fuck does this even mean? Who wrote the script for this game? Want to shake their hands. Hello, you're a weird person. But I like the game you wrote. Right? Dear Lord. I do remember this race though. It's quite difficult if you don't know that shortcut, especially there. We're gonna have to take the low grounds and just follow the streets. That would have taken quite a long time otherwise. Are we going to... Uh-oh, I see the other racer. Ooh, no, Cox! And that's how fucking close it can get. Deary me, look at that. Oh my god. Oh, thank fuck. Oh right, he doesn't actually talk between these. Okay. We are... I think this is the second to last race. I think so. So it's gonna be about 2 hours. That's not bad for Tokyo. 2 hours is actually pretty good. That one race we fucked up quite badly, but that's to be expected. It's pretty difficult. Well, hope you have enjoyed Midnight Club so far, and hopefully you'll get the game, because I want more people to get to know this one. It's removed from Steam because of probably music copyrights or something. I still have it on Steam because I bought it when it was still there. It's not going anywhere from my account, but you can't buy it anymore from there. So your best bet is probably eBay. And please get the PC version, I think it's better than the console versions. You have that resolution. It still scales. This is like, I'm running this in 2K here. Looks pretty good. You have some graphical mods as well, which make the game even better looking. But I don't really feel like using those. Even though I wanted that remake of the game, but it's not authentic if you have weird mods that make just everything shinier. It's not really my point. There's also another mod called Modern Edition, but I'm not sure if it does anything else but modify the cars a little bit. Then there's one more mod which is quite hard to find. Oh my god, the doors can slam you like that. Did not know. There's another mod which has all new tracks and such, but it's super hard to find. Oh my god. I meant to do that. Nobody's gonna fucking believe that. Weird how this race has a downer music. It's quite depressing actually. Oh, it's this song. It just has like 5 minutes of nauseating pain associated with it. It's a cute song, but most of that is just quite sleepy. Well, they used the full songs. I love Paris though, especially when you're going a bit faster. Paris really comes alive. Really? Does France have the traffic going on the right side? I did not know that. I thought it was going on the left side. Did we fucking lose? We might have lost this one because of that one mistake. Well, I guess we'll see. Jesus. Yes, most definitely we lost. Well, it's a learning experience, right? Oh my lord. Somehow we're still second. We can still... We got extremely lucky there, that could... Oh no. Can we? Oh, thank God! Get fucked! If that is not luck, I don't know what is. Just don't fucking crash. Ooh. Okay, I'll take that. We did not deserve that win. Motherfucker crashed. I think there's only one race left.
I've died twice before and I still breathe. This is sort of the same. Okay, maybe you win and relieve me of this burden. To Los Angeles!
Okay, I think... Is this the last one? Think so.
I have seen it all. Your horrendous driving skills included.
Alright, enough of... Let's show off. Hope you've enjoyed the series. Last race I don't think is too hard. But let's not talk before we fuck it up, right? Fuck it up, right? But I do remember this race is a lot easier than some of the previous ones we've had. Reminds me of that race in Paris, where you have multiple checkpoints in a group like that. That's what it reminds me of. Dear me. Just following the main boy. Trying to get familiar with this race. We're probably gonna lose the first attempt. But I think we can do it on the next one. Just trying to process it in my brain of how this works. Just have to memorize these patterns and where the checkpoint actually is. Fuck sticks. That'll work. Imagine a car crashing through your office window that's like 8 stories high. Not something you see every day. This race is a bit awkward, I find. A lot of stopping like that, you lose your momentum quite often. And of course the last race is on rain again, you can see how much you slide around. It's quite ridiculous. That's actually, I think, the ending point. Like, not literally that spot, but the ending point looks exactly similar. Now I'm thinking that maybe this isn't the last race. Maybe that was the actual ending point. I think the race ends at that point on the next race, so this is not the last one, I don't think. My memory is gone about this. Because that looked like the end. And the checkpoint on this race is in the middle. Yeah, this is not the last one. But this is quite easy, I think. We're still second after so many crashes. Maybe it's because of the rain, they can't really try well. We'll see. Alright. We might actually win this, believe it or not. Pretty confident. It all depends how they get back, but if I remember correctly, they suck at getting back to the middle. That's why I think we're gonna win this. We are going the opposite way, but we are gonna be positioned correctly when we come back around here. They are gonna have to go through that way there. He is actually ahead of me now. But I still think he's slower than us. Let's see. Does my memory serve me correct? That was lucky. I hope we're not gonna... Oh my god. I still think they're gonna fuck this up. Yeah, I remember correctly. They still had checkpoints to go. They are extremely bad in this race for some reason. I thought that was easy. I do remember that. I don't know why that's so easy. It's the second to last race, but it just is. I guess it has to do with the correct path you take. Yeah, this is the last one, definitely. See how long this takes. Fuck off. Same music repeating. Oh. Let's really concentrate on this one then. It's the end. Don't wanna be talking about bullshit here. Let's concentrate on the race and just do this. Whew. What a clusterfuck. Look at the amount of checkpoints. Holy fuck. This is basically just a rehash of all the races we've done in Los Angeles. Remember this part on the first episode? It's just a hash of the old races mashed together. This might actually have at least one checkpoint from each race, I'm not sure. But that's my guess. If not from each race, then pretty much all of them. A lot more difficult Los Angeles when you have a faster car. And really this is the best option. If you're playing this game yourself, you can try the other cars, but Kenichi's car really is my favorite. It's good all around. It's just easy to like. The races in Tokyo, I think, are so much harder than this. If you make it to Los Angeles... Oh, you can't go through that. If you make it to Los Angeles against the world champion, you're not gonna get stuck there. You are gonna beat the game at that point, because the last races are a bit easier. Once you get past the Tokyo ones. Tokyo is so hectic. Los Angeles is a bit more calm. Traffic is not as dense. Just the roads usually are wider. Traffic is going the right way. You know, because that's the right way, there's wrong and right. Everyone who drives on the left side is the wrong side. How did they ever come up with that? How did they ever decide, in this country, we're gonna drive the other way around? Or maybe they had cars before the others? And just thought driving on the left side was better? For whatever reason, I don't know. Seems super weird to me. Goes to Wikipedia after the race. I need to know. It just seems so ass backwards. Why would you drive on the left side? Oh, it's one touch and we explode. But we have to take that one explosion to keep going. There we go, that's the perfect spot to do it. If you can do this race without destroying your car once, man, I adore you. Quite hard not to get hit by everything. He is fast, but he's not smart. Says someone who completely fucks up the turn. Most checkpoints are done and we're still... Okay, that could have actually cost me the run, but we're still pretty close to each other. Let's take a little bit of a risk here. See if that pays off. Okay, that's a good one. Perfectly placed truck for us. Ah, I tried to fuck him over by crashing into him. I'm trying to do risky methods right now, because we're kinda behind. Not too much, but let's see. That could have been bad there. Not gonna give up though. Never know. They can all just get stuck in traffic. Never know when it's Midnight Club. Oh my god. Okay, maybe we're not gonna do it. We'll see. They're still all there, I can see them. And we have 2 nitros for this occasion. should pop one when we get to the highway. There's still a lot to go, even though it looks like we only have 3 checkpoints left, or 4, or 5, whatever the hell. We still have most of the highway. There's one. See, they can crash like that. Savo is quite a lot ahead, but that doesn't mean shit. Look at their speed, it's horrible. We can still do this. Okay, there we go. Fuck you. He actually... No, there we go. That's 2 out. See if we can take out the rest. There's still 2 ahead of us, I think. We somehow actually took over one. I see, they are using that route. So we are taking a risk, apparently. A lot of shit going down here. We might still have this. He's actually burning. Oh, there's the one. And we are first again. Okay. Now, final stretch. Can we make it? Actually nervous. Not even close. Come on. Okay. Uh-oh. Please. So close, I can see it. We have to have this. We have it. Nice. Bam! Back where we started from. That was Midnight Club 2. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you want me to do more Nico Appreciates, let me know. Thank you for sticking in. That was quite a long episode.
At last,
Take care.
Free of this rubbish. You want my car, my title, have a nice life, goodbye. Can I get out of here now?
He did it! All those racers! I finally have a friend who isn't a total loser. See you later, man. But don't be getting any silly ideas.